for India in all formats for a very long time, trying to find some form, and as I said, coming out of injuries. That's something which India want to correct. It was a very good day, clinical performance in the first game.
Yeah, there was a little bit of swing early on in the first one-day international, maybe because of the humidity. So Bhuvaneshwar Kumar will be hoping that that's the case now with the one slip in place. Here we go. Beautifully bowled first up.
Yeah, hitting his length immediately. It'll be interesting to see if he finds more swing today compared to the other day. Is that what they generally say? The more humid it is, maybe the seamers find some more swing.
Just a lovely presentation of the seam as well. Ideal for the outswing bowler. And what it has done is it's made the captain have a second slip. So there's a second catcher in there now. So this is an area where Sri Lanka haven't struggled in the last few years, is the first 10 overs. They sit real pretty when it comes to comparisons to other nations around the world as far as strike rates are concerned, wickets lost inside that first 10. It's beyond the first 10 where they've struggled, and I suppose that's highlighted by the scores that the batters got in that first one-day international, the 30s and the 20s. There were plenty of them, but none that could go on and assist them in getting a substantial score. We saw how well Shikhar Dhawan played to be able to be that rock for India and let everyone else play around him. Got a start in the first one, Avishka Fernando. Ended up with 33. Just wide of second slip. What a catch that would have
been. The lengths have been impeccable. Again, it didn't do too much. Just enough to get that edge, and Manish Pandey is an outstanding fielder anywhere. Just look at that again, wonderful presentation, just enough, got the edge, and a leaping Manish Pandey would have been a sensational catch there.
It just starts to swing, doesn't it? Then just catches the seam, and just goes away ever so slightly from the right-hander.
Again, don't think Avishka did anything wrong there. He just played the line, just didn't press or play with hard hands. That was the good thing which he did. From his point of view, he knew he was possibly beaten. As soon as the ball pitched and it started decking away, as a batsman you know you've been done in. Again, just look at that. Yeah, just kept it there. Just played with softer hands. Wonderful effort.
There's the in-swinger, 2 without loss. Quickly, and it was left to the spin of India.
Yeah, the two teams and how they line up for today. Just one change to the Sri Lankan team, Kasun Rajitha in place of Isur Udana, and for India unchanged. Unexpected lines. Yeah, not everyone got a chance to bat, and they didn't have to. Literally decimated that Sri Lankan bowling lineup, winning by 80 deliveries to spare. That's just an outstanding number. Prithvi Shaw possibly must have been kicking himself for getting out early. He had a great chance to get 100. Deepak Chahar Again, another swing bowler who gets a lot of swing. It'll be interesting. He didn't get that much in the previous game. Can he get more out of today's weather?
Two slips. Just want to go across the left-hander. Just a little bit of swing, just a hint of swing away from the left-hander as well.
I haven't seen extreme pace or hardly any pace from both these bowlers, isn't it? Bhuvneshwar Kumar operating at around 123, 124. This delivery from Deepak Chahar just touching 125. So they are trying to swing it. They're not trying to bowl too quickly.
Probably missed out there. Certainly inside the first few overs, if you get the old half volley, you want to put it away. So 6 on the offside. Chahar can't be too straight with just the 3 on the leg side, the 2 boundary fielders, the man third man and at fine leg. Quite there for that stroke. What do you think is important here for Sri Lanka after what happened in that first test match? The first one-day international, excuse me. In that, yes, you lose with 80 balls to spare, but India played very, very well. And with it being an inexperienced side and inexperienced captain, what do you say to your troops leading up to this one?
Yeah, the first and foremost, I think they were undercooked for sure. You look at this ground, and the stat is, I'm not a massive stats man, but it says if you score anything less than 317, and I'm talking about the recent past, you're not winning the game. In the last 10 ODIs, 317 is an average score, so you have to get in excess of 317. So you are shooting yourself in your foot if you're getting to 262 after a very good start against a good side. And I'm talking about the average winning total. So this is 317 need to get. Clipped away very nicely, and that should be 4.
The outfield just a little bit longer now down towards that leg side. After the surface that's being played on today is just shifted across. But that's beautifully timed. Quick outfield.
And we've kept repeating this. How many batsmen got starts? How many of them? Oh, I think the top 6 got starts, and then they just threw it away. And again, you have to remember, this is a team which, look at that, it would have gone, had he been a couple of steps behind, he would have taken it. He could have taken it. Bhuvneshwar Kumar ran in and then completely misjudged it.
He's very grateful that the umpire signalled 6.
Spare a thought for Deepak Chahar. Gets the left-hander, gets a nick, gets dropped, and then after being hit for 4, he thinks, wicket, here we go. And then Bhuvneshwar Kumar possibly misjudging it. Yes, it was signalled a 6, but had he been a couple of steps behind or closer to the boundary, he could have easily taken it.
Yeah, I only say he's grateful that he signalled 6 because we've seen it so many times. Fielders come rushing off the boundary and the ball lands once and runs away for 4.
I think that's fine for non-televised games, HD. Not for televised games when you've got a giant screen and everyone can see what happened there. It's fine when you're playing other games, it's not televised.
That was a delightful stroke. I just wonder if he had a glance around the field and knew that Kumar was that square. He is very, very square. Sort of between fine leg, more of a deep square leg. They'll push hard, will want to, will get him.
Deepak Chahar hasn't got the amount of swing I generally was expecting him to get, to be very honest. Even in the last game, Bhuvneshwar Kumar got a bit more. And that's where the wind is blowing, which is, I think, from the pavilion towards the batsman right now, by the looks of it. Do you agree with me?
And that picture just shocks me because I didn't feel any wind when I was out there, that's for sure.
Neither did I.
To finish for Sri Lanka, 19 without loss. A number of test venues in Colombo, the largest city of Sri Lanka by population. And it shows you that Sri Lanka have done pretty well inside the first 10 overs. This is not their issue, Sri Lanka. Their issue is from overs 11 to 40. That's where they tend to lose a lot of wickets. The rotation of strike becomes difficult. That'll be a wide. I think that is something that Mickey Arthur and his staff will be working hard on, and just trying to improve that middle period of batting, the manipulation of the ball, trying to rotate the strike. I mentioned earlier we saw how well Shikhar Dhawan did that. And everyone said it was a fairly sedate innings, but he nearly struck it at 100. Nearly. There's a no ball that has been signalled. It's been called from upstairs now. The on-field umpires don't have to do that.
I think our man Mazhar has put the mockers on him. Only last game he said that in 505 overs or 15 overs he's never bowled a no ball. Here's the first one. First no ball since October 2015 from Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Blame it on Mazhar.
Does it count? They didn't score a run off it. Yep, there it is. And he got away with it. He got away with it because it certainly wasn't a Yorker, but there was a big swing and a miss.
.3,093 balls without overstepping. Bhuvneshwar Kumar is human after all. Oh, Bhuvi, come on. You can't do that.
Must have been that wind you were talking about. A gust of wind blew him over the front line. It is very, very steamy out there. You can't feel the breeze when you're on the playing field, that's for sure. There's runs. 4 of them.
He was itching. Minod Bhanuka, a couple of dot deliveries. You're trying to look for that ball which you can clip or hit. That's exactly what happened here. Slightly pitched up. He had made up his mind that he was going to go. Well executed in the end.
And I think he's a player that will probably feel a little bit of pressure when it comes to his strike rate, because domestically in one-day cricket his strike rate is a little bit of a concern. It's something that he is aware that he needs to work on. But a handy first-class career, the highest score of 342. Someone that just struggles to rotate the strike. That's the kind of stroke you're looking for the non-striker to be aware of. Through for the quick single.
And also more often than not, you know that your infielders are always trying to hang around the 30-yard circle after a few shots have been played, isn't it? That's something which batsmen need to be aware of. You look at everyone, except for Manish Pandey at covers, everybody is standing back.
That'll be 4 again. That's a lovely shot to complete the over. 28 without loss. Explosive, but there's been 2 boundaries that have been flipped away sort of over the leg side, and then we've seen some lovely shots down the ground as well. Made his one-day international debut in the previous match, and he looked an attacking player.
Yeah, they played some good cricketing shots in the last game. They played some good cricketing shots over here. Nothing untoward. I've played percentage cricket so far. It's about making those good decisions going forward. One clip through square leg, and then wasn't timed to perfection. The bat just rotating after that shot, but timing good enough because Shikhar Dhawan at mid-on was quite close, and all he had to do was find the gap. That reminds you of Graham Smith, that on drive.
Pace taken off, bold and well played.
Yeah, slower knuckleball.
What did you make of the surface? You were out there earlier.
I think it's a well rolled out surface, straw coloured, as we've seen even in the previous game. Still knotty. I think that grass has got some knots. I don't know whether it makes any difference to the ball. Possibly under lights is what I've felt. Does do a little bit more. But apart from that, a very good batting surface.
It's well played. Did well to find the gap. Stood tall, pushing hard. They want 3, they're going to get 4. This outfield's quick today.
He has favoured the onside. Minod Bhanuka has played some good shots. Closes that face when he hits a shot on the onside. Again, just look at that. Finding the gap, getting the timing. It's not the quickest of outfields, especially during the day. Then the chase was on. Also, if you watch the last game, I know that Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Deepak Chahar are not out-and-out quick bowlers compared to the Sri Lankans. Dushmantha Chameera is quick. Apart from that, having said that, I felt that under lights, I thought the ball was coming on slightly better compared to that in the afternoon. But still, the captains prefer batting first.
That's the shot of the afternoon.
Won't be happy with that, Deepak Chahar. He bowled a good delivery. This was too full. Pitched up. Exactly what you get during throwdowns.
He enjoyed this, didn't he? I think he's just acknowledged there that, yes, skipper, I got that wrong. My length was too full.
You can just look at all the shots that have been played. Every shot has been a cricketing shot. Fine leg into the circle. Square leg's gone back or gone to deep square leg. And that's all they need to do. I'm pretty sure, you know Mickey Arthur a lot more than I do. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he would have reiterated. Just look at the starts, boys. That's exactly what you did. You did that against a good side. but you didn't capitalize on it. There's no point in taking it to a certain point and leaving it for the next man. A good foundation was set in the first game. A good foundation has been set now. One man needs to make sure that he's there till the end, because then the acceleration is at a different level. No point in asking Dushmanta Chamira to come and wheel the long handle.
Short ball to complete the 6. 37 without loss. I just think, there's many ways. We mentioned it in the first match. There's many ways to go and get 300 plus scores. You can go and smash boundaries, but there's also those batters that are able to hit the ball in gaps and get 2s and 3s, and this is a ground where 3s can be run on. So I think Sri Lanka just really need to look about how they go about putting those middle overs together. They may not have let's call it the boundary hitters that in the Ishan Kishan mold, but they certainly can manipulate the ball better.
Exactly, lots of ways to get to 300, but you have to understand where you are as a cricket team in international cricket. I can understand.
This time he does get it. He does.